Greetings and salutations. What is up, my MAGA people? What is going on this evening? So we're learning some new things out of the Daily Caller. Everybody knows what the Daily Caller is, right? Retweet the scope if you would. Be great. I am live on YouTube and I am live on Periscope once again. I've started a new YouTube that's just going to be dedicated to CAG TV, crapping on leftists and having a good time. That's my new motto, crapping on leftists. That's the only thing I want to do. So anyway, we got a lot to talk about. Let me get this all set up. Crapping on left. Get this all set up here. That way people can come in on YouTube if they like and hang out. I want to be able to make it fun for all. I'm even going to invite some Facebook people up in here. Make it fun for everybody. Get everybody here. Boom. There. Now everybody can come in. What's up? What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Just getting everything set up here. 1 second. Alright, we're all set up. So, Daily Caller had an article where they stated Strobe Talbott was in contact with John Kerry. So John Kerry was lending out. It is an interesting day. So John Kerry's lending out intel assets to this guy Strobe. Interesting thing about Strobe Talbott is he was Bill Clinton's Secretary of State. So there's your direct link to the Obama administration, to the Dossier, because Stephen Talbott was going to John Kerry. And Stephen Talbott has a relationship with the Brookings Institute. No, it was out of a Daily Caller article today. So it's nothing to do with any Q stuff, but I found the article very interesting. And, you know, it explains a lot to what's going on. It explains a lot. Where is the Donald Trump puppet? I put him up tonight because I just didn't feel like starting the software. So he's put up. I'm tired. It's been a long day. So, yeah, I didn't start that software. So there's that. So there's Stephen Talbott. He's connected to John Kerry, which he also works for Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. So that connects the Clintons right to Christopher Steele. Right to him. Without a doubt. So why isn't Jim Jordan and the rest of them dragging this guy's Talbott and the Clintons into Congress to give testimony on the Dossier? They really should be. Jim Jordan should be dragging their asses in right now. Jim Jordan should be giving subpoenas. Jim Jordan should be dragging them in and questioning all three of them about Christopher Steele. They're not going to get to anything unless they drag these three yoo-hoos in to at least answer some questions. You know, they can plead the fifth, eat the fifth, drink the fifth, whatever it is these clowns do, but I would say if I was Jim Jordan, I would get these guys into Congress and question them on why they thought it would be a smart idea to go after Donald Trump with a dossier like that and use the Obama administration State Department to as a catalyst to do that. Yeah, you ain't missed nothing. So look up Strobe Talbott. Absolutely, you know, you do know they are scared to poke the bear. Well, they should be poking the bear. They should absolutely poke the bear 1,000 times over. I'll put the article up on screen so you guys can read it. I mean, this is crazy stuff, man. Like, it's all right in front of the American people, yet they're the ones who call us crazy. You know, that's the funny thing about this. They'll call Americans crazy, but it's absolutely already there. Everything is already there. All you have to do is put it together. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Doom, doom. Here's the article here. Let's pull this up. Pull my chat link up here. Boom. Okay. You won't be able to see the chat for a minute, but let's read the article together here. It's an amazing article. Christopher Steele disclosed information from his infamous dossier to Strobe Talbott, a longtime Clinton insider and former State Department official. He's more than a State Department official. He's the fucking Secretary of State at one time. He's more than a State Department official. They even downplay what his role was. He was Bill Clinton's Secretary of State. Court documents released on Tuesday showed that Steele shared information with Talbott because of the latter's position on the State Department's Foreign Affairs Policy Board. Talbott's link to the dossier has not been previously reported. His brother-in-law, another Clinton insider, compiled an anti-dossier of his own during the campaign. Christopher Steele, the author of the infamous anti-Trump dossier, disclosed information from his Trump-Russia investigation to longtime Clinton crony because of his position on a State Department advisory board. So he was on the advisory board of the Obama administration, according to the court documents that were filed on Tuesday. So somebody filed some documents today. According to the court filing, Steele told a court in the United Kingdom on August 1st that he provided Strobe Talbott, the Clinton insider, with the anti-Trump research because of his position on the Foreign Affairs Policy Board, an independent advisory board set up in 2011 by then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Let me read that again to you again, okay? According to the court filing, Steele told a court in the United Kingdom on August 1st that he provided Strobe Talbott, the Clinton insider, information with anti-Trump research because of his position on the Foreign Advisory Affairs Policy Board, an independent advisory board set up in 2011 by then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. So she knew exactly what this guy was researching, right? She put Christopher Steele in the position to research Trump. She had this set up in 2011. This goes so far back. Remember, I've talked about this 1,000 times. Hillary Clinton had this ready to go long ago. Had this go ready to long ago. Absolutely amazing that in 2011, she had already put Christopher Steele in position to start researching Trump. Right? So she abused her Secretary of State position in 2011, knowing what this guy was going to do with it. On top of that, he's an FBI asset. So he's providing James Comey with all the information he needs along the way. This was an ongoing operation against Trump. This didn't start in like 2015 like some people say. This goes back to 2011. This is all an elaborate plan by several people in several different agencies to take Trump down before he even ran. I don't know why people don't get that. Trump was being targeted in 2011 by the Secretary of State. She already knew what her plans were. In 2011, she put him in the position where he was going to take down Trump. Steele's link to Talbott, which has not previously been revealed, shows lengths to which Steele went to disseminate the fruits of his Trump investigation, which started in June of 2016 when he was hired by Fusion GPS. He wasn't hired by Fusion GPS, folks. He was placed with Fusion GPS. Fusion GPS is a DNC hit machine. Absolutely bullshit to say he was hired by them. He was placed with them. They were a rogue agency. Fusion GPS is nothing but a rogue agency. He wasn't placed there. He wasn't put there. He was already a member of that intel team. Okay, so let's keep going. The Steele document was revealed on Tuesday in a lawsuit filed by 3 Russian bankers who have sued Steele in the UK and US over the dossier. A September 14, 2016 memo in the dossier alleges links between the founder of a bank, Alpha Bank, and the Kremlin. They have sued Steele and Fusion GPS over defamation. Steele disclosed the link to Talbott in a response to a series of questions posed in UK litigation. Steele's filing does not provide additional details on his interactions with Talbott, who served as Deputy Secretary of State in the Bill Clinton administration. So Secretary of State, Deputy, which means he was one under fucking Madam Shitbright. Talbott has long been friends with the Clintons, having met the former president at Oxford University in the 1960s. It's also unclear what information from the dossier Steele gave to Talbott, or when the handoff would have occurred from Talbott to Comey. Comey already knew about it, man. Comey already knew about this. It's all going to start leaking. Lock these son of a bitches up. So here's the deal, okay? So here's the deal. The meat of the story's right there. Is that Hillary Clinton put this guy on an advisory board. Put him there. She didn't it wasn't like, oh, he came along and said, oh, okay, it's totally, all right, it's okay, we can do this. She placed him at the scene of the crime. She placed him where she wanted him. It wasn't that he was there. He was placed there by Hillary. He was placed there by Hillary Clinton in 2011. Why not put it into effect with Bush? Bush got nothing to do with this guy. Bush had zero to do with this. This is 2011. This is all the Obama administration with Hillary Clinton. The one thing Hillary Clinton did was she set up to go after Trump in 2011. It says it right on that article. Right in the article it says it, that she was the one who put Christopher Steele into motion, and then sealed Talbott in the State Department, so he was able to get that information to Hillary. So basically, he was the mole within this proves that deep state exists, by the way. This proves the deep state does exist. When Hillary, after she left, had a mole left in the State Department who had access to John Kerry and had access to unvetted information. Totally proves that she did that. It's all going to come out. I mean, it's slowly trickling out through lawsuits. But it's starting to all piece together how all these different compartmentalized, operations were running for Hillary Clinton. She totally was running an operation from 2011. So when did Benghazi happen? Let's check this out. Because she left the White House right after Benghazi, right? 2012, Benghazi happened. Now, the funny thing about Talbott, another thing, is he has ties to Libya through the Brookings Foundation. Do some research on it. The whole fucking thing is like crazy. How much ties Hillary Clinton has into all this shit. John Weiner's his name. Look him up. John Weiner. Connections to Libya. Very big connections. I think he was absolutely a ambassador in Libya. It's starting to all make sense now how she was able to use the State Department as a catalyst to do her dirty work, to smear Trump in her campaign. They had this set up. I wouldn't be surprised if her and Obama and all the cronies got together and they met how they could abuse each agency in order to take Trump down, even if he won the presidency. Even if he won the presidency. Imagine that they set this up, that in case Trump won, they could take him down through agencies. Now let's go back to McCabe and Strzok and all them. What is the insurance policy? What is the insurance policy? We have the insurance policy. That's the Dossier. That's Christopher Steele. Their golden goose, their golden nugget that they've placed, and they have access to him through every agency. Not only was he a member in the State Department through Talbott, right? Also, he was the FBI asset. That means Comey had access to him. Not only that, Bruce Orr had access to him. So all three of these agencies had access to Christopher Steele. Not just one agency, but all three. The Obama administration had ties to him. The Department of Justice had ties to him. And the FBI had ties to him. So they were getting debriefings from him from all these agencies all at once. Why were they doing that? So they could keep their story straight. They didn't want to mix them up. They didn't want, you know, well, we know this and we know that. It's so they could all keep their story straight. They were all in on it. Loretta Lynch, John Kerry, James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Barack Obama. You know, it goes on. Hillary Clinton. All of them were in on this. This was the biggest group effort of public official corruption to ever hit the White House. I mean, this makes Watergate look like nothing. I mean, they keep saying Trump did a Watergate. These guys wrote a Watergate. These guys were trying to totally take down Susan Rice. I mean, all of them were in on it. Samantha Powers, all of them. Peter Strzok. I mean, it was the biggest orchestrated event to ever happen on U.S. soil. And they cry victim when they were able to put them there. They were able to put them there. The CIA, John Brennan was in on it. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think of all the levels these guys went to. All the levels that the deep state went to try to take Trump down. As far as back as 2011. This took years to build that dossier, by the way. It didn't take a couple days. It didn't take a couple weeks. It took a long time. And they made a dossier not only on Trump, but all the Russians, right? Because they needed a boogeyman. They needed a boogeyman. So what they did was they made this big, you know, Trump's connected to this guy, and Trump's connected to that guy. Trump was sitting next to that guy, so he must be connected to that guy. You know, so he's, you know, so they make up all this phony network, and now the Kremlin banks are having to sue people, and, you know, all of these guys are suing people, and all the information's starting to come out because of lawsuits. Because in America, you can sue people that piss you off. So the Russians are taking advantage of it to show, you know, hey, we didn't have anything to do with this. And they're bringing, you know, the force of lawsuits in order to get this guy to give up the goods to the courts about what they have. Have you noticed Fusion GPS has gone into hiding? They're gone. They're just gone. You know, and then they use McCain. McCain gave it to us. You know, McCain didn't give that to the FBI. They already had a copy of it because they helped orchestrate it. Nah, Trump's not going to be indicted. I'm not even worried about that now. I'm not the way Trump's been talking lately. I think Trump's about to drop the goods on all these guys. I think Trump's getting ready to open a can of whoop ass. I think Trump is getting ready to slam some fucking heads. Trump's just about had enough, man. Trump is about to unload on these cocksucker commie bastards. Trump's had enough, man. I can see it. It's in his tweets. He don't even care what he's tweeting now. He just be saying whatever's on the top of his mind. On the top of his mind. Bojangles said many years ago in Trump's name. And I think it was. I think it started in 2011 when Hillary was in Clinton, when she was Secretary of State. She laid the groundwork to get this done. Oh yeah, well there's probably black files out there that do exist, absolutely. But you know, I think it's interesting that now this new piece of information comes out because it only proves even more that Trump was set up. It only proves more that Trump was set up. You know, the more information, like I said, that comes out, it solidifies what is going on out there. You know, it totally, you gotta understand, you know, it was a group effort, man, by all these agencies to try to take him down. It wasn't just one agency, it was multiple agencies. That's the crazy part about this, is that all of these agencies work together. Yeah, Mueller's now going after the NRA. He'll go after anybody. I think Mueller's at the end of his line. I don't think Mueller's got much left. Mueller, he's finished. The more stuff that comes out, the more of a moron Mueller looks like. No, it takes 2/3. Yeah, they're not gonna score an impeachment. Not for, you know, not for what they think they have on Trump. Please, that would never even last in court for 5 minutes. That would never last in court for 5 minutes. But what they did, what Obama and, you know, Kerry and Clinton and this guy Talbott and all of these guys, that's the collusion. That's the real collusion. That's the subversion of an election. That's collusion. I don't know why people just don't start saying it for what it is. That was collusion all the way around. They all got together and they conspired to rig an election. They thought the Dossier would take Trump down, right? This was their go-to thing, right? Let's be real. They thought the Dossier would be released in the press and that people would not vote for Trump, right? They weren't counting on him to win. They were like, we'll release this Dossier. We'll make Trump look like a fool. We'll make Trump look like he's connected to Russians and pissing on models, and we'll go for it. And they never thought about what they were doing. They just thought they would win. So they were like, let's do it. And they went ahead and they basically pulled the trigger on doing this. And when they did it, it all backfired. No, he cannot be. He can be brought up for impeachment by Congress, right? It's got to go for a vote in Congress and then a vote in Senate. It would probably get through the Congress, but it'll never get through the Senate. Yeah, Trump is safe. Trump is safe no matter what. They do not want to do this. They really don't. So what we're seeing here is I think it's the beginning. It's the beginning of the dominoes are falling. The dominoes are falling because of the lawsuits, and the more that they start peeling back the information. Because remember, they asked for, I think it was 17 documents they want to see. So they were given one document today, and the judge said, hey, bring back the rest. We want all the rest of the documents. So the judge is like, if they're out there, bring them. So these Russians want all these documents released because it will prove that the Clinton campaign had everything to do with the Dossier. Yeah, it was a coup. It was a coup. It was the cooing of an incoming president. I mean, when you think about it, it's the craziest thing, man. It's the craziest thing that they tried to coup an incoming president. It's absolutely nuts that they would even try this. Crazy, 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 man. But it shows the deep state exists. That's what it shows. It shows that there is a deep state and there is a cabal out there that want to take Trump down. There's a cabal. James Comey's already made it known. Look what he's doing right now. This guy who says, I'm a Republican. He was never a Republican. He lying through his teeth. Now he's like, everybody vote for Democrats in 2020 because we can't have a bad man, orange man bad. That guy is a snake. He was already canvassing for a Democrat anyway. I mean, he put a picture out on Instagram. It was no secret, man. This guy not only does he not want a Republican president, he didn't even want a Republican in the midterms. He didn't even want a Republican in the midterms. Check this out. This is fucking dipshit. I can't stand this guy. I really can't. He is the worst FBI. He is the worst FBI agent to ever come to be. But look, that's him at the midterms. Midterming for Democratic candidates. The guy's a snake. Let's be real. The guy is a snake. Through and through. So here he is at midterms. Please vote for a Democrat. He wasn't. It's not because he's Republican like he says he is. He's not Republican. He's Democrat through and through. He wouldn't be going through midterms, pumping up the Democrats if he wasn't. He a lying sack of shit, and he knows it. He knows he's a lying sack of shit. That guy's the biggest lying sack of shit you've ever met. So let's go ahead and talk about what else is going on. So last night I did my first Q research, and I did one of the Q posts, and I'll put that up on screen. I don't care. I'm looking at it now, and I'm getting back into research, and it's always good to get into research. So I was like, I'm gonna do some research, man. I'm gonna do some research. So I was like, so I started doing some research. So last night I did do my first Q. I don't care. I just want to link data to the Q post, and it's not because I'm like totally into it. I just thought it would be interesting to link data. because of the conversation I had with the guy, right? He's like, just take it and link some data. I had a conversation with him even after I got off the scope last night. So I got off the phone, and then I talked to this guy for a while in DM, and you know, he's a good guy. His name's Tim. He's a nice guy. So we talked for a while, and he's like, just do one, dude. He's like, just do one and put out your information. And I was like, all right, I can do that. And you know, I gave him that promise that I would do that. And this is what I came up with. So I'm going to go through the information that I took last night from when I was talking to this young man. And it's because I said I would look at it. So this is what I did for him. And all I can do is give people a chance, right? So in a Q post, the guy says in the Q post, what is it right here? He tagged this guy's Nathan Kane. So we're going to go through the data, man. It's just data. There's no reason to get scared or upset. So it says, sometimes here intrusions have a way of safeguarding people and evidence. Sometimes intrusions are a necessary event in order to safeguard a chain of custody, post, OIG, WB status, doc handover protocols. Okay, active criminal investigations of this magnitude must be handled with extreme care. The moment your name went live, there was no choice. Keep the faith, Patriot. You are never a long queue. So, you know, don't get upset. We're just going through data. Okay, so I took the data. So I started looking up everything about this guy who got raided. So they raided his home, and he had been a whistleblower to the Rosatom Corporation, which is connected to Uranium One, which is connected to Kremlin, which is connected to Putin, which is connected to Bill Clinton, which is connected to the Clinton Foundation, which is connected to Frank Geistra. Okay, so most people know this, right? Most people do know this. Okay? So also, Robert Mueller refused to investigate Rosatom, and he was offered a bunch of information on Rosatom, but they refused to investigate it. I never knew that when I started sifting through this data. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So Robert Mueller was absolutely told about this Rosatom company, and they did not investigate it. So there's an error by Robert Mueller right there within the Hillary Clinton investigation, that he let her slide, and they didn't investigate that. So why wouldn't Mueller investigate? That's the biggest question that we have. You know, he had an obligation back then to investigate. Now, remember, he was the FBI director back then, and there was a whistleblower coming to him and saying, hey, there's something going on with this company, with uranium. You need to investigate it. Okay, and he would not investigate. Okay, so that didn't happen, and it had direct links to the Clinton Foundation. So Mueller refused to investigate this. This is all true facts, by the way. All true facts. Now, it was rumored at one point, I don't know how true this is, I've only read it in a couple spots, that one of the whistleblowers had taken videos of somebody stuffing cash into briefcases and handing that to the Clintons. Dirty money that couldn't be traced, that they were given loads of cash. Now, were they looking for these videos? And were they looking for documents to Rosatom? And were they scared about something that happened to the documents, and that they weren't sure if they had all the copies? You are leaking too much Q on here. You can leave, man. You can leave. I'm just talking about information. I'm not here to have arguments with people. Okay, so Judge Stephanie Gallagher is the magistrate who signed off on the FBI raid. Okay, Stephanie Gallagher. She's a United States attorney for the District of Maryland. She served until September of 2008. She was prosecuting cases. So she prosecuted cases for the Bush administration. And she did that up until 2008 for Bush. And then she went on to work for the Obama administration as a court judge. Stephanie Gallagher also at one point launched a government corruption inquiry in 2014. a man named Thomas Drake had gone to the Pentagon OIG about waste and about problems in one of the spy programs at the NSA. And it was said that the OIG had destroyed documents to protect the NSA. So she ordered a full-on investigation on the OIG itself. It was into a project that was known as Trailblazer. Now, does she want to see all these documents that this guy has to make sure no OIGs have destroyed any of the evidence? And why would she want to look at this? Because I do think there is a criminal probe now into the Clinton Foundation. I think this guy was raided because there's an ongoing criminal probe. I do believe that now. There is an ongoing criminal probe. Where it's going, I don't know. But there is, I believe, an ongoing criminal probe. So what she did for this guy is she pulled all the documents in, and this guy was railroaded. I mean, they tried to get him for Espionage Act. They tried to, I mean, this guy was, I mean, Obama wanted this guy locked up. Obama wanted this whistleblower locked up. Probably worse than any whistleblower in U.S. history. If you don't know Drake, I suggest you do some research on him. It's an interesting case. You might learn a lot. So what we know about her is that she, like I said, she was promoted to the magistrate court on October. Here's something that will interest you also. On June 11th of 2018, her nomination was sent to the Senate by President Donald J. Trump. Gallagher to the same seat. This was done on October 11th of 2018. Her nomination was reported out by 20-1. Means she won the votes by only one person voted her down. Excuse me. So I find it interesting that Donald Trump on October, if he thought that she was a bad lady and was going to do a bad job, he would have never put her up for a renomination. He would have said, it was good of you to serve, you're going to have to go. So Trump kept her on in October. Interesting, right? So I think there is an ongoing Clinton probe, and I think she is a judge that's overseeing some of it. And I think that's why I think this guy does not need to worry. I don't think he needs to worry. I think they're doing what they need to do, and they're gathering all the documents to make sure nothing is destroyed. There's a reason why they're doing that, because corruption is corruption, and they've seen it before with OIGs even themselves. An OIG is not a superhero. It doesn't mean they're not partisan. It does not mean they're not biased. They have to make sure that they have everything. So she's pretty much like the go-between between the whistleblower and the OIG to make sure that they have everything. They have to make sure that everybody's got a copy of every document and nothing has been shredded, nothing has been destroyed. So they raided his home to go through all of the documents to make sure everything is there. I know that's exactly why they did it. My advice to Kane is to calm down, relax. I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't read in too much about this. This lady Gallagher seems like one of those people that wants to see everything. Everything. Not just, you know, from an OIG standpoint. She wants all the original documents. And that's why she went and got them. So we're gonna, already turned in, was likely deleted. No, he said he still had it. He said he still had it. So a whistleblower is allowed to actually keep evidence. I didn't know that, but they're allowed. They're allowed under the Whistleblower Act to keep their hands on things. His name was supposed to be kept secret too, by the way. Horowitz reports felt more like he was protecting institution. That's what I think it is, man. That's why I think they brought in a magistrate to look over the documents, right? Because if there is a Clinton probe going on, you know, we must absolutely look into it. So that's my first QAnon looking at information, and that's for Tim, because I told him I would do it, and I found it very interesting. I found it very interesting just to look at data points, right? Because that's what I like to do. I like to look at data points and analytical data. So, you know, I actually enjoyed doing it, you know, and it's what it is. So, you know, hey, who cares, man? It's always fun to look at information and tie it all together and look at it. So, you know, I'm not being a jerk. I'm just saying, man, sometimes it's cool to do other things besides bicker and bitch at each other. And I found it cool to do that, man. So, you know, hey, whatever. I thought it was fun. So there's that. So anyway, what else is going on out there? Not a whole lot. France, they had a protest with the students today. There were some yellow jackets there. The students are now protesting something about their education taxes. Macron's caving left and right to all these guys that are protesting. So, you know, Macron has lost total control of it all. Macron, other people do research too. We need to look at everything. Absolutely, I think we do. We need to look at all data. You know, that's why I'm doing it, man. I like looking at data, and you know, I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know, if you can learn from something, why not? I have an open mind. That's right, and I'm giving Q the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving Q the benefit of the doubt, saying he's a good guy. He's a good guy, and I'm going to give it a chance and see for myself where it takes me from a data standpoint, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm opening my mind. You know, it doesn't mean I'm going to believe everything 100% of the time. Doesn't mean I'm going full Q or not or anything like that. But I'm looking at it in a sense that Q is an okay person, and that they're trying to just betterment the patriotic movement. Now, the only thing I say to the Q followers is treat people that don't believe or have disbelief in things, treat them with respect too, because you know, I think it's a two-way street here. I think it's a two-way street between people who believe and don't believe. And they got to come to a common understanding where they can say, okay, you don't believe. That's okay. I can understand that. But we don't have to hate each other. We don't have to treat each other like shit, right? So I think there can be a common line between both of these entities that have this going on, right? There can be a common denominator. I mean, we all want better for the country. We all want better for America. We all want a better future for our children, right? So I think that's the common goal in everything, is that's what we're looking for, and that's what we're striving for. So, you know, I think, like, I watched today, you know, some more people wanting to infight. Who was it? I mean, guys, I mean, this stuff right here has got to stop. Guys like this, I mean, I've had run-ins with this guy before, but, you know, it's stuff like this, right? Check this out. So, look, this guy here, sorry, hold on, let me put it up. I'm not taking calls tonight, by the way. There's no calls happening tonight. I don't have it set up. So this guy here, everybody remembers this guy. Everybody remembers this guy. This is what I'm talking about, though. This is what I'm talking about. This guy, right? This is a direct insult to all of MAGA. Whether you're QAnon or MAGA. Whether you're QAnon, MAGA, not, whatever you are. Whatever you are. This is a direct insult. This is what I call a direct insult. This is a direct insult to all conservatives. No matter how you look at it, this is a direct insult. Right? This is what you call a direct insult. You know, these are the people that are doing more damage to the conservative movement than even QAnon, when you really think about it. I mean, he called all Trump supporters 90% ingrates. I mean, do you know how many people bought that piece of shit book he had? You know how many people bought that book? And that's how he treats the people that bought his book. Like, wow. Wow. You know, everybody, you know, he always punching that way. I laugh at him, but that's what I'm talking about. He's ruthless. You think so? I just think he isn't. He's a Gamergate guy, right? I mean, all these Gamergate guys are the same, pretty much. But that's That's a direct insult. That's what I call a direct insult. A direct insult to every Trump supporter. And absolutely ridiculous. But enough of him. I found it funny that someone sent it to me because he has me blocked. I've never gotten along with that guy. Our political views are like yin and yang. We've never gotten along. He fucking hates me. But yeah, so I just, jeez. Oh, he is. But anyway, I'm gonna end the Brian. What, buddy? I have nothing against anybody. Really, I don't have nothing against anybody. You know what? If people follow people now for what they're doing, that's their business. That's my new motto. It's been long enough, right? You know? And that goes, you know, I wish no ill on anybody. I think we must, you know, do our own thing, man. And if people like what these other people are doing, that's their business, right? Who am I to stop it? Who am I to step in? Who am I to butt into their business? It's none of my business. I can only do me. I can't, you know, I'm not here to police. I'm not here to overshadow. I'm not here to, you know, it is what it is. If people enjoy something and follow something at this point, that's their business. And that's their God-given right, being Americans, right? You know? That's their God-given rights. They're allowed to do it. That's called freedom of speech and freedom of will. That's why that's why you have the Constitution of the United States. People are free to do what they want. You know, I'm not there to control them. I can't tell you who you're going to follow, who you're not going to follow, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. You know, we need to start, you know, being conservatives. You know, we believe in the Constitution. We believe in free speech. We believe in free will. You know, when people start telling people, oh, you can't follow this guy, or oh, you can't follow that guy, or that guy's information is invalid, or this guy's information sucks, or, you know, I mean, who am I to step into that? That makes me a hypocrite. That almost makes me a leftist if I do that, when I really stop and think about it. And the guy, Tim, last night, he really woke me up to it. He was like, dude, he's like, look, man, people like what they're doing. You know, we're doing Sunday, buddy. Absolutely. We're doing Sunday. Yes, we are, sir. But I think, you know, as time goes on, I think all people can find a common ground. I've started to unblock everybody, and I've noticed some old people following me. I still have a lot of accounts to unblock, but I vowed to unblock them all. But I believe everyone should do their own thing and have their freedom of speech. And if you're a conservative, you don't need to attack another conservative because they believe in QAnon or they believe in, you know, other things. And I think we're at that point where we can all just coexist and do our own things and treat each other with respect. And that goes for every platform out there. And, you know, that's I've made up my mind on it. You know, it's better to flow downriver than it is to paddle up a river. I'm telling you it is. And we're gonna do some fun stuff too. It's gonna be fun. We are on the same team. That's it. We're on the same team. And the more we get to you know, a level playing field, you know, if people didn't want to follow other people, they wouldn't do it, right? They wouldn't do it. That's on them. If they want to follow other things, that's their business, you know. And you know, Praying Medic, he's got his own thing, and people love it. Let him be, you know. I'm not gonna fight against somebody who's doing something positive. The most he's doing is red pilling people at this point. Let him be. Let him red pill people. I'm not here to tell him what to do. I have nothing against the guy. I hope he contacts me. I would love to talk to him again. I think a lot of bridges can be healed over the next few weeks, and people can move on, and people can, you know, we got to because 2020 is going to be a battle. 2020. I had some really good phone calls. Maybe a little of both, man. Maybe a little of both. I don't know, TM. It could be a little of both. Did you and Adam make up? I have nothing against Adam either. I haven't talked to Adam in ages, but I don't have nothing against him. I don't have nothing against no conservatives. I got no beefs with nobody. Now the left, I crap on them all day long. The left, I'll crap on left and right. They're fun to crap on, you know. Trump was tearing them two up. Yeah, he was. Trump was tearing them up. Are you running for office? Who knows? Maybe one day. Who knows? You might see my face. Meg is getting to you. Well, Meg's the love of my life. Of course she gets to me. She gets to me every day. You know, well, me and Meg, she talks to me a lot, you know, and she's told me, and we've talked about this. One of the things we've talked about, like, how do I, you know, be a better conservative and not, you know, get into so many arguments or have, you know, these long drawn out stupid shits. But do you know how many elderly voted the first time in 2016? No idea, man. No idea. That's a number I don't know. If you know it, you can say it for sure. How many did? I don't know. I don't know. Any other questions before I roll up out of here? Zero is increasing his vibrational frequency, operating on a higher level of consciousness. I'm trying, man. I think I am, actually. I'm starting to kind of transcend across platform. You know, I want to have a good platform without drama and focused on the left. That's my overall goal, you know, and it is what it, yeah, I have no animosity towards them. Sunday topic. What do you want to talk about? We can talk about Ocasio. We can talk about the leftists, whatever their hot cry baby week is about. We can talk whatever you want to talk about, Mike. We can talk about anything leftist. I don't know. What do you want to talk about? We have to pick a good topic. We'll have to work it out. I'll DM you. We'll figure it out. We'll watch the week go on. It might be immigration is what we might be talking about how Chuck was crying. So you flip-flopped on Q. I didn't flip-flop. You know what I did? I came to an understanding. I don't call it flip-flopping. I say coming to an understanding. Coming to an understanding that other conservatives believe in other things, and I should be okay with that. You know, I should be okay with that. Why should it bother me? It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. I should be okay with it. And Q shouldn't be bothered with me, or Q shouldn't be bothered with you. We should all be okay with each other. That's how it should be, right? That's how I look at it. You know, it is what it is. I just, they're conservative, I'm conservative. Why should I care? As long as they're going to vote conservative, I don't care. And I don't care what people follow. That's their business. You know, it doesn't hurt to look at everything. I've said this every scope I've ever had. You know, information's information. Doesn't matter where you're getting it, as long as you can get something out of it. I think that's the point. If I can look at some of these Q posts and say, oh, well, I pulled this out of it. Hey, it was a benefit to me. You know, if I look at something and it interested me, why not? You know, and other people throw out information that they think is interesting from doing what they're doing. The average user, right? And I look at their information and say, hey, that's a good point, or that's a good article. Who am I to not look at that information? I can't, you know, just turn my head away from something because I don't like what it's about or what it is. If it's going to give me some kind of value, I'm going to take it. Never turn down value. Even Donald Trump would tell you that. Take all value and take it. If it's there and it's free, what do I care? You know, so I think we owe it to ourselves to at least look at information. Beta with sister, he's already smoking crack again. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Comey is a Democrat. Comey is a Democrat. Well, I trust information. I trust facts. That's my theory on things. It's always has been. Calls later tonight? Probably not. It's been my stepkid's been sick, so I'm really tired. It's been a long couple days for me. kids throwing up and cleaning rugs, and oh my gosh, you name it, I've been doing it this week, so I'm kind of tired. Tonight's going to be a relaxed night. I might do a little research, and I'm doing a lot of research again too, guys. I've been doing a lot of looking in articles and looking up old articles and linking things together and doing that. So I'm trying to do things I used to love and do that more, and get back to the place I was in 2016. I kind of lost my way, so I'm trying to go back more to the research end of things and provide information to people than to, you know, have squabbles and bickles online. You know, anyone watch Gufford's show on Saturday night? I didn't know. I knew Comey was a Democrat when he opposed Bush when he was under Ashcroft. Yeah, I think when he tried to unseat Ashcroft, that was a strong indicator, wasn't it? Most people like me better researching. I get DMs all the time like, when are you going to go back to it? When are you going to go back to doing what you're good at? So that's it. And I like to provide sources to my information. But anyway, God bless everybody. I will be on tomorrow. Meg's going to be on later on tonight, so she'll be scoping. But I will talk to you all guys later. God bless, even to the QAnon folks. Have a great night. I'm glad you guys took a point to listen to me. And I'm going to try to be better and lead by example. Patreon tonight? Oh, I'll ask him. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in the last couple days, so I don't know. I'll ask if I can get a hold of him.